for later.
So not to be too difficult, but we've been coming here for 2 days just staring at this thing. Not really sure what we're supposed to be doing.
Ludovico Buonarroti. Michelangelo's father. He was a wealthy man, had no understanding of the divinity in his son, so he beat him. No child of his was going to use his hands for a living, so Michelangelo learned not to use his hands. Years later, a visiting prince came into Michelangelo's studio and found the master staring at a single 18-foot block of marble. Then he knew the rumors were true that Michelangelo had come in every day for the past 4 months, stared at the marble, and gone home for his supper. So the prince asked the obvious, "What are you doing?" And Michelangelo turned around and looked at him and whispered, "Sto lavorando. I'm working." Three years later, that block of marble was the statue of David.
We're not going to stare at this thing for 4 months, are we? How are we going to open it?
Well, that's what we have to figure out. That's why we're sitting here. I mean, how do you open a hatch that has no handle, no latch? No discernible way of opening it.
Yes, I care if she brings me spring, but don't care about nothing. She brings the rain. Oh yeah, she brings the rain. In the dawn of the silvery day, clouds seem to melt away. She brings the rain. Oh yeah, she brings the rain. She brings the rain, it feels like spring. Magic mushrooms out of dreams. She brings the rain. Oh yeah, she brings the rain. Cement of yellow, gray disappears, flying on the raven's wing. She brings the rain. Oh yeah, she brings the rain. Yes, I care, she brings me spring, but don't care about nothing. She brings the rain. Oh yeah, she brings the rain. She brings the rain, it feels like spring. Magic mushrooms out of things. She brings the rain, it feels like spring. She brings the rain, it feels like spring. She brings the rain, it feels like spring. She brings the rain. Silvery day, clouds seem to melt away. She brings the rain. Oh yeah, 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 she brings the rain.
What's up, gang? How was that for a fucking deep cut? Probably 2 people. What's up, man?
You catch any trout today?
No, but I caught something. It was called misattitude, is what I caught, because I decided to do a stupid thing and texted Jordan today, and that went really good. That went really well. Uh, so basically, okay, I may as well get off. I may as well get off jump with my rant, I guess, and get this shit out of the way. Normally, first of all, welcome to the show, everybody, and welcome to the shit show that is my life too. All right, let me go ahead and change this graphic behind us quick here to one that we normally use. Let's switch to a different color. Let's do. Let's do this bad boy right here. All right, so I did a stupid. Well, see, here's the thing. In my mind, it wasn't a stupid thing because I was gonna let it go a week.
Yeah.
Before, right? That was the plan. I was gonna let it go a week.
Yeah.
Right? So I woke up this morning and I'm like, all right, like I feel like enough time has passed. So if I say something, it doesn't make me come off like a bitch. You know what I mean? It's not like I text you like it was blowing you up and shit. You know what I mean? So, eventually, well, no, essentially, what happened was I was like, I've been thinking, maybe we can stay on as friends for the time being. Let's see how that works because it's a new dynamic for us. But we can try. We can try because we do have business shit to do as well. Now, as the conversation is going on, this is a different girl than the one I've been dealing with for the past 6 months. Okay. Now I don't know if this new guy like really like wowed her or something. She's really feeling herself or something. I don't know if it's a thing like that. But she was slick talking me so bad that I wanted to verbally, I almost did. I wanted to verbally choke slam her through the ring like fucking Kane, okay? Because I was sending shit and I'm getting thumbs up replies, and I'm like, all right, bitch. I'm like, enough with the. I actually said this shit. I'm like, yo, can we please stop with the passive aggressive bullshit? I'm trying to be civil with you. Like, I'm trying to set up shit. You know what I mean? I'm trying to move beyond what happened. Right? So this dumb bitch has the nerve to tell me, because this came up too, and I'm like, you don't even take your modeling shit seriously. I go, we had that meeting last month. We haven't had a single conversation about a look, a fucking location, an idea, a date, none of it. You know what this dumb bitch says to me in fucking reply? I didn't know that was my responsibility to give you a date. What do you mean? Like, in order to model, just like booking someone for a fucking movie or a show,
or a haircut.
Hello, so she goes, I don't know how any of this fucking shit works and all this shit. She goes, obviously, I don't know how to fucking do anything. What's up, Sully? So I'm gonna read you. This is the kind of passive aggressive shit I was getting all day today. I should throw them up on the screen, to be honest with you, because it was a day long thing. And I'm talking to Jasmine at work. I go, I've clearly made a fucking mistake. And she goes, yeah, I think so. So, dude, I'm telling you, this is a completely different girl than the one I've been dealing with for the past fucking, as long as I've known her, right? So, let me scroll back because she's on Do Not Disturb right now, so that's always good. But so I got into how like I thought it was fucked up the timing of why she told me what she told me, right? So I said to that, I was like, I even try to do the manly thing and be like, yo, we both fucked up there, right? She goes, we both botched this one? Nah, I disagree. I didn't botch anything. Okay, so then I got the modeling shit. She goes, I didn't know I was supposed to get in touch with you about modeling dates. I was waiting on you guys to tell me when. Bitch, what? No, it's your fucking career. You tell us when. No. So that's when she sent the thumbs up, and I was like, no, laugh my ass off. We need your input on that. And she goes, thumbs up. I go, can we stop with the passive aggressive bullshit, please? I go, like, I'm trying my best to be civil here. This is what she says in return, okay? I don't know what you want from me. I could have sworn that when your friend came over, he said he would let me know about the first shoot would be. What am I supposed to do? I don't fucking get it, and I'm just getting really annoyed over here. I can't fucking win or do anything right, apparently, because of me bringing up like earlier that all I wanted to do was move past the shit at the movie. That's all I wanted to do. And it became this whole fucking thing where she's a passive aggressive fucking cunt. Shit. Sorry, YouTube. C word. I apologize. Don't remove me, YouTube. I'm sorry. But she became a passive. She's never, and you've seen text between us. She's never talked to me like that. Ever. But the point of this here is that now you're walking around like you're some big stepper when I first met you, you were a fucking janitor at a fucking hospital. You're 29 years old and still live with your mother. And now you're a fucking cashier. And the only fucking reason you have a lane in life is because of me. Because you fucking met me. Okay? And then she was getting on me about like, well, why did you put a pause on the thing with Ash? I go, because I met Ash 2 days after the first time I fucked you. That's why. Because I didn't know where we were going to go up, where we were going to end up. So I tried to do the right thing and, try to do the right thing by everybody instead of fucking around on one to fuck another. You know what I mean? No, I'm a one person. And I even told her, I was like, if you were dealing with me in my 20s, it's a different story. Because that Joshua used to juggle fucking 6 chicks at a time with no fucking problem. I go, I'm not, thank you, Sully. I'm just not that dude anymore. I'm not at that place in life to where I can mentally take all that on with all the shit I had going on, bro. And she couldn't compute that because that we had a thing that she was my main focus. And maybe that's a generational thing because of Tinder and Hinge and hookup culture and all that. Maybe it's something with that where she's just like, well, I just don't understand why you would pause something while we had a thing. Excuse me? So I don't know if this bitch is like gaslighting herself into believing that that's the truth or not, but
I don't think it's worth any more of your time and energy. I think their actions and words have given you all you needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And now I'll close on this part because I'm not going to make the whole show about it, but I'll close on this. So, earlier we were talking about the modeling thing, right? And then about, maybe 45 minutes ago, Feast text. He goes, listen, dude. He goes, I don't really want to shoot her unless you're involved with her. He goes, I'm doing this as a favor for you. And I'm like, I know it's a favor for me. And after how she acted today, I think she's dead in the water, dude. Because I was willing to separate business from personal. But with the shit that she was saying to me today, I'm not. It's just something that, like, why would I help you? Why would I elevate you now? Like, me even entering your life elevated you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, she disrespected you to your face and then some.
And more ability for it.
And so think about if you were at your job or somebody was at their job and you had some promotion in line. If you went and were an asshole to your boss, they'd take that away from you or they'd fire you. So, I mean, I know this isn't like a paid job or anything, but you got to kind of think of it like that.
No, but and I was out, and that was my thing too. I was thinking about it in business terms to where it's like, all right, we can, because I know, and this is another part of it too, is like me and her have had the on and off talk before. It wasn't about the talk, it's when you did it. And then she started saying, how much was the movie? I'll send you the money for the movie. I go, it's not about the fucking money, it's the principle. Yeah. I don't give a shit. I've spent way more than $15 on you, and I'm not saying that you owe me back for it. But it's just like I said, I don't know if she's refusing to like see where I'm coming from, or maybe she genuinely doesn't, but maybe it's a dude thing. For example, I broke it down to my friend in my kitchen. He was over here earlier, and he got it in a fucking instant. He totally understood where I was coming from, but somehow she can't. So whatever.
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand with what you once told me, where I showed you some things of someone being insulting towards me, and then they tried to say, "Oh, I didn't mean it" and stuff, and then it goes, it's not about what was said; it's more about how it made a person feel, and I just feel like that goes hand in hand.
The fucking Sheena back in the day, like she would say some shit, and she was like, "I didn't mean it that way." I go, okay. So it was intent versus interpretation.
Yeah, exactly.
What really matters at the end of the day? What you said or how it made you feel?
Interpretation matters more to me.
Exactly. So there's that. But me and Ash have a dinner date coming up soon. So, and like that was another thing. She needs to be grateful that I held off on Ash as a whole, because I could have been dealing with Ash since fucking War Games. I could have been dealing with her since. The fact that I didn't potentially, well, could have. I don't know if it's still gonna, but potentially could have changed her life. And she's like, well, I don't understand why you do it. Bitch, be grateful that I fucking did it. Because if we didn't get the time together that we did, you would have no prospects in life, period. And I don't say it to be mean, and I'm going to end it on this here. The only reason that I reached out to her to try to help her out with the modeling a little bit after the fact is because I didn't want to come off like a whiny bitch to where I'm like trying to punish her because we're not together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and she obviously couldn't handle that. So whatever. Go on your own way. I don't know. I tried my best. I was an adult, and for the first time, I can honestly say this one was not my fault. I had no role in this shit at all.
No, not at all. It was at least semi blindsided, even though you said you might have felt it coming. It was still semi blindsiding.
Mm-hmm. And again, like I said, me and her have had those talks in the past where she was seeing a dude and she's like, yo, I kind of like this guy. Can we not? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I even said that today. I'm like, yo, we have had those talks before. So what's different about the talk that we had at the movie theater versus the one that we've had on my couch? The difference is timing, where you did it. That's where the fucking difference is. Yeah. So anyway, let's have some fun today, gang. Thank you for letting me vent. I appreciate it. I don't do that too often on here. But shit, dude, we have 18, I guess 19 people like me fucking yelling about women.
Edmonton the Oilers just scored 6 seconds into the game.
Dude, you want to know what pisses me off? I had a parlay going that started on Saturday. And it was a 5-leg parlay. It was 3 baseball games. Fuck the baseball games. They all won. There was 2 more. It was the Yankees plus 1.5 in the series finale against the Dodgers. They won. Mm-hmm. The last part of the parlay was because dumbass me didn't look to see that the series didn't start till tonight. So I just figured, Oilers, and I bet on them. If I would have sat out that parlay, I ended up cashing out for $124. If I would have sat it out, I would be looking at $544 fucking dollars. But you know what? They offer you money sometimes, and you go, there's a chance I might not. Let me take what the
like that time we grouped together for that UFC parlay, and they were offering that cash out, and we were like, no, one more, and then he got knocked out like 5 seconds in.
Nah, that was the one where we begged Sean to cash out, remember? Right?
Yeah, and I think we were perfect through the first 2 fights, and they were offering a pretty respectable cash out where we could have got like $100 each or something. And then I don't know, I might have said it too. I might have got cocky, but then literally the next fight he got knocked out like 1 minute in.
And then that's when me and Sean's we started rifting apart a little bit until each of us got sober, because I was drinking that night, he wasn't. Yeah. And I remember because we used to have a group chat for the UFC events.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so I was going off on him in the group chat, bro. I was like, yo. I was like, I fucking told you we should have cashed. I was like, next time you don't get a vote. It's between me and Jack if we fucking cash. He was pissed, bro. Hold on, fuck this shit. I thought it was.
Now I know if there's a cash out available and it's $80 or more to take it and run.
Make it, bro. Yo, because you know what? You can take a portion of that 80 and just redo your bet. Who gives a fuck? You already won 60.
Yeah.
And then if the rest hits, whatever, bro. So, all right. Yeah, yo, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Man, I don't know. I must have did a good job promoting this one today. All right. Where to begin? How about we begin with fucking R-Truth being released? What the fuck?
Yeah. I guess
The
he
pick-
I guess he turned down like a cheaper deal and then they released him.
Yeah, so I guess what was on the table is your contract expires or you take this lowball offer. But here's the thing. He's been there 17 years. He's made his money. Like, I'm not condoning it because I love R-Truth. I do. But I mean, you've been there so long, there's no way you're broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And
like,
also from what I've read, even the people in WWE who are buried in catering and barely on TV, they still make somewhere in like the mid to higher six figures. So it's like it's not like it was nothing, and it's also not like you're not John Cena or Roman Reigns, like you're not going to get paid. Plus, you're like 53 years old, and you've basically just been in this kind of entertainer role for the last like 10 years. So, like, I don't know. I mean, what more can you really ask for?
Respectfully, you don't really have too much merch. Okay, so he's not bringing in money that way.
No.
Now, like I said, fans love him. I love him. He's funny as fuck, dude. If Vince McMahon was there, he'd never have been released. I don't give a shit. Vince loved him, dude. He was great. He can make anything work. He can make a lot of shit funny. Like when he was trying to get to the Judgment Day, and they had like those like him like doing those like like videos of him begging to fucking get in and shit, like little montages and shit. It was funny shit, dude. It was funny. And I mean, and then people were bitching too about, and now they have a different perspective about the match that he had with Cena at Saturday night's main event. Now, for me, or before knowing this, I didn't give a fuck because I always, I looked at it like John Cena wants to work with Truth one more time. They have a history.
I didn't look at it as some serious thing. I just
no, it was just this is the guy I want to check off before I get out of here.
Yeah. But you got to remember they did have a match. They did have a match at the one and only Capital Punishment 14 years ago.
But people don't understand, or maybe they do, and like maybe they forgot. That motherfucker can actually wrestle. Wrestle.
Yeah.
That motherfucker can go. I mean, maybe not so much now because he's 53, but
when he first came around as R-Truth in like 2009, he was
bro,
on par with like a lucha guy. The scissor
kicks,
the spinning nice, shit. And he was tag team champions with Pac-Man Jones.
That's right. He was. Right. But who else got released people were bitching about? There was someone else.
Carlito.
Oh, Carlito. Oh, yeah. And, one thing that I liked, the little small details, that I commend them for, hats up to them. There's no more PS5 in the clubhouse.
Oh, really? I didn't notice. I didn't pay that close of attention.
Yeah, so there's no more PS5 in the clubhouse anymore, that's a cool. One thing that was fucked up. I'm not sure if you heard this or not. They wouldn't let talent wear R-Truth T-shirts on Monday. They wanted to come out with like Truth gear, T-shirts.
Yeah, they usually do that when someone dies, like when Eddie Guerrero died.
Yeah, people love R-Truth. Can you imagine how fun that dude must be backstage? That dude's got to be a riot, dude. And he was universally like we both said, it's partially his fault because it's not like he's making a salary like the dudes in the fucking concession stands or some shit.
Yeah.
You said, he's making decent money. But I do feel for him because he's good at what he does, bro. He doesn't turn down ideas, if he wants to, you can throw him in anything and it works.
You can throw him in a main event title match or the silly 24/7 title stuff.
The thing with Carlito and his return is what was the point?
Yeah, really made. It's funny because remember his original return was the Puerto Rico backlash to save Bad Bunny from Damian Priest, but then yeah.
Who was reading the Bible, Sully?
Probably R-Truth.
Was he? Oh shit.
I assume because remember R-Truth's old merch or that stuff he used to wear had a cross on it? Could be.
Oh yeah. Well, what's his name was doing it for a while there too. Truth. Yeah. Okay. Sully says Truth. But what's his name was doing it. Elias was doing it for a while, and someone made a TikTok or a tweet based on the TikTok. It should have had me dying because he like went to like TNA or something. And it was like reading the Bible verses must not be paying the bill.
I'll be
the chat's delayed. Yeah. I know. But
I'll be scrolling on TikTok and I always come across Ryback live streaming. And he like always
what? Have you ever
like I don't know, it'll always be like the double screen of like him talking with another person. You know what's crazy is
so like
what's crazy is I remember.
You know what? I wonder if we can get that motherfucker on the show because he's obviously doing shit like that.
Yeah, he'll talk to anyone. I remember
Sully said he sees him too. Yeah, he just gives people advice.
I remember before they debuted like the new Ryback character on TV because he was Skip Sheffield first before he went back down. I remember it was at a show in Yakima before they put him on TV as Ryback. This entrance theme hits, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? And then he comes out, and I'm like, oh, it's fucking Skip Sheffield in a singlet now.
Yo, have you ever seen, I'm sure you have. You ever seen, and you ever seen the clip of when CM Punk's talking about how he used to injure him?
Yeah, and then Ryback's like, I'm just dumb as fuck. Sorry.
Yeah, he's like.
I mean, that's what multiple people said. I think Cena spoke about it too, that he was super dangerous and reckless, like in the ring.
Yo, you can tell by his style in the ring, dude. But I also see a lot of people bitching about El Grande Americano winning the fucking Money in the Bank. Okay, listen. Logically speaking, both of the guys he beat are pushing fucking 50. Okay?
Yeah.
They're not going to compete in a fucking ladder match.
Yeah.
I mean, like if we're talking 10 years ago, yeah, dude, but come on.
I mean, Ric Flair did at WrestleMania 22.
Ric Flair is a different animal, dude.
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, that just goes without saying. This dude was doing wild shit. Honestly, I have no idea. He wasn't doing the hardcore shit. Like he wasn't fucking, going through flaming tables, getting bashed in the head and shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, the dude was doing some wild shit in his older age, dude.
Yeah.
Ladder matches, fucking all kinds of shit, dude. But yeah. What did you think of the show overall Monday?
I mean, it didn't do a whole lot for me, but we're just in a weird period right now, I guess, before SummerSlam.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what gets cooking around SummerSlam.
Or maybe we've just officially entered the TKO era, and they know they have our viewership, so they don't care what they put out there.
Here's the thing: is like for how long? Because I only hold on to wrestling when I almost was out in the dark ages of fucking 2017 to 19.
Yeah,
but then it turned the corner right before. I have a feeling. I think we talked about this before. But I have a feeling that WrestleMania that COVID hit was lining up to be one of the best ever.
I think it was too, but at the same time, I'm not sure if that WrestleMania happened as normal in the stadium with fans, would we even have the bloodline now? I don't think we would.
No, because that only had. I don't know if you ever heard it. Paul Heyman went on Rick Rubin's podcast the Monday after WrestleMania 39. When Roman retained against Cody. And he was saying that he was talking to Roman about coming back and all this shit. And it was Roman's idea to be like, yo, we could take advantage of no fans. Because now I don't have to yell, like, go get the chair, right? Yeah. I can go like, it's like we're having a conversation like a movie.
Yeah.
So he was the one, and yeah, you're right. There would be no bloodline without COVID.
So it's like it's this trade off.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. It's a give and a take thing.
Yeah.
for sure. But SmackDown, I didn't even watch it. I mean,
I didn't watch it either because I went to the movie and stuff, so I didn't either.
Yeah,
And I just never got around to it. And like,
that's
I always
the
watch.
difference, right? That's the difference. If I was out doing something on a Monday, as soon as I got home, unless it was super late, I was tired. As soon as I got home, I would pop that shit on.
Yeah,
SmackDown, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Like I didn't watch Raw live last week or the week before because of the Timberwolves, and I watched it right after. But I just don't do that with SmackDown. I mean, I don't every week, but like if I'm just like I know I missed nothing important, so I don't really need to watch it.
There's nothing there that fucking Oh, one thing we can get into before we get off the wrestling. The love of my life, Mariah May, debuted on NXT last night. It wasn't nothing huge, like a 20-second thing, just announcing herself. But apparently they're changing her name, and I hate that because I think her name is fucking literally perfect for who she is, and it's her middle name. It's her middle name. If you're gonna do that, then change it to MAE instead of MAY. But Mariah May, it rolls off the tongue really well. It fits her as a character. Like, it's money. It really is. Like, she's one of the few women wrestlers that I can like. She's one of the few reasons I would watch AEW when she was hot and had a title run. She was one of the reasons I was tuning in.
And speaking of, they're in the middle of a 4-hour Dynamite right now.
Dude, we think Raw is long. This is oh my god. Like, this is a marathon.
I still can't remember the last time. I don't think I've watched AEW at all this year. I don't think I have.
I've checked in from time to time.
Besides little bits here and there, but like I haven't, and I know I'm not missing anything.
MJF is in the Hurt business now, but like you said, around summer is when this is like their WrestleMania season. So
so I'm trying, but I just always forget, and I would rather watch sports and stuff. Like you know what I don't like. Because I mean, I get up so early, so it's I don't stay up super late, or I try not to. So it sucks. Like right now, when the Twins are playing in California and the game starts at 7, it starts at 7 my time. It's not over till 10, and like I want to watch it, and I do, but it cuts into like the 2 hours of like TV time I get in a day. And tonight's the last game, so I'm glad.
Dude, like West Coast swings I guess it also affects you in a way, but because you're a fan of the Twins, so you're not playing at a normal time. But yeah, so you're kind of in the same dilemma as me. Is like when my team does the West Coast swing, I hate it because also I don't know if your broadcast team does this, but the Yankees announcers, like, they don't send their A crew. You get like the dudes who work in the studio because no one wants to go to the West Coast.
Yeah. Well, right now we have I've noticed since we've been playing in Sacramento the last few days, I noticed our old third baseman / like shortstop, Trevor Plouffe. He's been doing the games because he lives there. And so he does like so like they have like sort of the main guys, but then they have some former players do some games. They have him do some games. They have Justin Morneau do some games, and they have LaTroy Hawkins do some games.
How he was good everywhere. He was good everywhere else. He was a terrible Yankee.
I mean, by the time he was on the Yankees, he was already like 40 years old too.
Dude, didn't he play for like fucking like half the league?
Yeah, he played for the Twins for like 10 years, and then after that, he was on a different team every year till he retired.
Yeah, and he just sucked ass with us.
Everywhere he went after the Twins, he was basically like end of the bench reliever.
Yeah. And then like they would put him in games we were losing by like 10 or something, and he would still give up like 5. And I'm like, dude, why are you here? Like, why are we paying you, bro? Just go.
I remember one time when I don't even know if ESPN Classic is still a thing.
Oh, I missed that channel so much, dude.
But like when I was a kid, I used to always turn it on. Like when I was on the weekends or in the summer, and there'd be some like old game on, and then it was the Twins and Yankees, and then like my dad, it was like a summer weekend, and my dad's like, "Oh, this is David Wells' no-hitter," which he pitched that no-hitter hungover, But LaTroy Hawkins was the starter for the Twins in that game.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. But yeah, yo, ESPN Classic was the shit, dude. You could just put that shit on at like 2 a.m. and just something on.
When I was a kid, because when I was in school, like in 7th grade, I'd go to bed at between like 9, 10, whatever. And at that time of night, they used to always have classic AWA wrestling on it.
No, they used to air wrestling. Yo, do you remember the show Cheap Seats?
I think so, yeah.
It was those two dudes who used to like pick on the weird sports competitions. They were brothers. Yeah. Yo, we gotta do a watch along on one of those episodes.
I don't think ESPN Classic's a thing anymore because like with ESPN Plus you can watch like classic shit. So
that's no fun, dude. And yo, that's one of the things. Then we'll get into the stories in a second here. But yeah, CO Cheap Seats. Yeah, Cheap Seats was the fucking shit. You're right.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. So ESPN Classic officially like ceased operations in 2021.
Well, yo, you know what? They made it longer than I thought they would.
Because we've been well into the age of streaming for 10 years now, basically.
Yeah. Yo, that was a solid run though. But the best thing about channels like that was the spontaneity of it. Let me turn it on and see what's on. Because sometimes you get boxing, sometimes you get wrestling,
sometimes you get a classic Michael Jordan finals game.
Right, and it was just like, oh shit. Now, the one thing that I wish that channels like that would do, and I include this with MTV Classic too, if you're gonna do shit like that, then you have to air it with the commercials that aired at that time.
Yeah. Because people have been downloading to YouTube these like 3-hour blocks of like Adult Swim from 2001 with all the commercials and promos, and they've been doing it for old MTV stuff too, like Headbangers Ball and stuff. Like they actually upload the episodes with the commercial, which I assume they rip off of like a VHS, because back in the day before DVR, you used to literally record stuff on VHS.
Yo, I used to, let me tell you this, growing up, I was such a big wrestling fan that I would have my mom buy me like 6 packs of tape, or probably 8 actually, because back then it was Raw and SmackDown. She would buy me 8 packs of tapes, right? So Sean used to work overnight. So I used to hook him up. I used to record every episode of Raw, but then I would pause the recording during the commercials and then hit play when it came back on. So when he got out of work and woke up next morning, he would be able to watch it commercial free. I used to have like from 99, probably earlier than that. I probably had from like 97 to 01 on VHS, all of it at my grandmother's house.
Still there with the Kofi pancake.
Yup. I still watch those for old Saturday morning cartoons with commercials. Sometimes it is good to just chill and just pour yourself a bowl of cereal and just fucking watch cartoons.
I find it very real because, like, to me, commercials have no creativity or color to them anymore, and they haven't for probably at least 10 or 15 years. Right. And I mean, a lot of the commercials I like to see are shit way before my time, 70s, 80s, 90s, and I'll literally, like, if I'm cleaning or doing stuff around my apartment, I'll literally turn on like some 80s commercial compilation. Or if it's the holidays, I'll literally do like a 80s Halloween commercial compilation. Or if it's Christmas time, I'll do a Christmas compilation.
There was like literal, like, there's no creativity in advertising anymore. Like, it's just like, okay, here's this car, here's how it looks, and this is how much it costs. There's like a guy like walking to the dealership. There's no like story behind it. You know what I mean?
Like you could, you probably remember some Gatorade commercial from when you were a kid, like I do. I can't name a commercial, I don't know, besides some Super Bowl ones, maybe from the last 5 years, but like some like everyday shit, it just doesn't stick with you like at all.
I always wondered, because obviously you don't know who's gonna win the Super Bowl before you film the ads. I always wondered what are the ones that are on the cutting room floor that you didn't use because the team lost.
Yeah.
You know, like if that could someday be uncovered, that'd be a fucking dope watch. But all right, let's get into some stories. We've been bullshit. It's been fun though. I like this. It's been dope. I missed. Yeah, yo, that guy in particular coming this summer. That guy. We need that guy back.
With the old like Universal logo or the old MGM roaring line.
My favorite studio logo was New Line Cinema.
Which one was that?
You've never seen the New Line?
I mean, I probably have, but I just it's skipping my mind. New Line.
Let me see it.
Oh, that one. That's for like old.
Describe. It's like
that's like the old. I'm looking at a picture. That's like you think of like a thriller or like a late 90s 2000s horror when you see that. To me, at least.
To me, that studio represented A24 for that generation. Like you knew that you were getting something fired.
Yeah.
No matter what it was. Yeah, Sally, you're right. He would be like,
this summer in a world.
Yeah. Like, did he die? I hope he didn't die. Because, like, this new guy we have, I mean, that's another thing, too, is, like, they barely use voiceovers. They just pop shit on the screen to make you read it yourself. It'll be like, nah, the stakes are higher. But there's no voice. Fucked up. But all right, let's get into some stories here. Where would you like to begin, buddy?
I'm just looking it up real quick. It looks like he died in 2008.
Damn! R.I.P. to the GOAT.
His name is Donald LaFontaine. Born in Duluth, Minnesota, died September 1st, 2008, Los Angeles, California.
Oh, man. Well. All I know is he made a really big impact on my life without ever meeting him. So, like, he could make me hype for any movie. Like, if he was
now all trailers is just showing clips of the movie with like a little bit of a cliffhanger to pull you in or try to pull you in.
I may as well announce this too. So before we're getting into all the stories here, I'll conduct one last personal thing. The building is going to start shooting at some point in September, with the first episode dropping at some point in August. So I was
you mean the other way around?
No. So we're gonna start filming in July and then drop in August. Unless
you said film in September, drop in August.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
Well, it's all good. I know what you mean.
But I was trying to be ambitious, and Feast had to talk me down a little bit, and I'm like, all right, so I want this shit to be 30 minutes, and he was like, whoa. Cool your jets. Let's start with 15, and then gradually,
I've been in 2 different 8-minute short films, and those were fucking those. That shit was probably some of the most mentally taxing things I've done in my whole life.
So now I know that you've only acted in it, right? So the filming was what did that to you, or was it like the editing and post and shit like that?
Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do any of that. I just acted. Okay. But still, like, you got to get 30 takes from 10 different angles, and it's like, and you got to like. Don't get me wrong. It's cool that I've done it, but like, it's fucking.
Yeah.
That's the thing about ambition, is that you got to have that extra push that other person who just wants to work and collect a paycheck and just be so. You got to have that little extra push that person doesn't have.
Yeah, and I remember telling you too, there was a great Kobe quote, and they were asking him, they're like, yo, it's like 3 a.m. Why are you out shooting practice shots or some shit? And he's like, because the next guy might be doing it too. So to ensure that, I remain as better, as good as my competition, if not better, I have to outwork that guy. So that's my mentality too, because, everyone has a talent. It's just, are you going to do anything to unlock it?
Or I sort of imagine, maybe I should think about this more often, but I sort of think of myself as there's a different me in a parallel universe that's doing all those extra things while you're relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, is like it shouldn't feel like work. Yeah. But all right. Let's go ahead and dealer's choice, Jack. What would you like to open with story wise?
We can open up with that manhunt because that's close to home for me.
All right. Let's do it. Sick fuck right here.
Hey, you told me. What's crazy is this guy, like, obviously didn't have custody of his kids, but he was homeless and he was living in his fucking truck.
It's
And I
always
don't know.
that. Wow, yeah, I mean, what the fuck, dude? I mean, normally I side with the men because I feel like they get railroaded when it comes to like family court. This guy didn't. You're living out of your fucking truck.
Yeah,
dude.
And then apparently,
what are you expecting?
You know, the mom was like, I didn't like. He has visits all the time, and nothing was wrong. And apparently, he just fucking snapped or something, and they haven't caught him yet. When I was on Sunday, when I was driving to Seattle for the game, those like screens they have on like the interstates, they had like the Amber Alert for this.
Wow, well, good. I'm glad someone's doing something. Yo, them things scare the fuck out of me, dude. Like, I'm glad they exist, but holy fuck, is that shit unexpected?
Yeah, it's funny. Like when you're in it's funny when you're in an office and everyone
gets it.
All go off.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Manhunt continues for father accused of killing daughters near Washington campground. We got a news clip here. I wonder if it'll play without fucking up. Hold on. Let's see. See if it'll play. See, probably not. All right, people, leave me alone. The manhunt continued on Wednesday for 32-year-old Travis Decker. Now, there are just some names that I feel like people should avoid, and I think Travis Decker is one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I don't know about Travis, who was accused of killing his 3 young daughters near a campground in Washington, with officials saying he could be anywhere within the nation. Peyton Decker, 9, Evelyn Decker, 8, and Olivia Decker, 5, were killed after they left home for a planned visitation with Decker. Oh, you piece of shit. At approximately 5 p.m. on Friday, according to the Wenatchee. Did I get that right?
It's Wenatchee.
Wenatchee. Okay, police department. At approximately 3 p.m. on Monday. Oh, look at this winter.
Yeah,
Jesus
right?
Christ. At approximately 3 p.m. on Monday, officials located Decker's vehicle unoccupied near the Rock Island campground in Chelan County, Washington. Police said in a press release on Tuesday. Additional law enforcement officers responded to the scene and found the bodies of the 3 girls, but Decker was not located. It said. A $20,000 reward has been offered for any information leading to Decker's arrest, police said during the press conference on Tuesday evening. Local officials are working with the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the U.S. Marshal's Office in their search for Decker. We will not rest until we have located him, Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison said during a press conference. He can be anywhere within the nation, so that's why we have our federal partners on scene helping us bring in additional resources. Decker, who is homeless, and this guy tried to petition the court, and you're homeless. Yeah. Okay, buddy. How is he even granted planned visitation? It must have been supervised.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what everybody in like the Facebook comments are saying. Like, how was he even granted it? How or if he was, why was it not supervised? Like, you know what I mean?
Man, I mean, it's awful what he did, but he never should have had the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
This is a failure of justice and shit like that. Let's see. Okay, Decker, who is homeless, has been living in his vehicle or at various motels or campgrounds in the area, is currently wanted for 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of first-degree kidnapping. he said. He's a former member of the military with extensive training, but it is unknown whether he is currently armed, officials said. Travis, if you're listening, now this thing always gets me too. What do you think? The fucking sheriff is going to convince him to turn himself in?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I don't get it. Travis, if you're listening, this is your opportunity to turn yourself in. Do the right thing. Do what you need to do and take accountability for your actions. We're not going to rest, and we're going to make sure we find you. We will be brought to justice. Those young ladies deserve it, and yes, they absolutely do. They didn't do anything fucking wrong. Prior to discovering the girls' bodies, police said visitation had been part of the family's parenting plan, but Decker went outside the parameters of it, which is not normal and cause for the alarm. On Tuesday, officials revealed the mother of the girls, Whitney Decker, contacted police on Friday with a civil complaint, saying there were concerns of Decker being financially stressed recently, and gave authorities information on his vehicle. And they made a typo. That wasn't me fucking up for a change.
That's a typo.
In a statement provided to ABC News, Whitney Decker said she was concerned about the safety of her children and that she just wants the girls back home safe and sound. Detectives later learned Travis Decker and his daughters did not arrive at a planned 5K running event on Saturday. At the time, the investigation had not met Amber Alert criteria, officials said, but an endangered missing persons alert had been issued through the Washington State Patrol. Before the discovery of the girls' bodies, officials said they were granted arrest warrants for Decker on 3 counts of custodial interference. Details regarding the daughter's cause of death will be kept private until officials say they can ensure that the information we are sharing is not going to compromise the investigation. Decker, who is described as 5 feet 8 inches tall with black hair and brown eyes, was last seen wearing a light shirt. Hey, the fuck? Where'd you go? Okay, here you go. With black hair and brown eyes, was last seen. Why does it only do this at the end of the article? Why? Fucking why? What the fuck?
On the
kind of yeah. It's always at the end of the article. It does that shit, dude.
Drysdale interferes with Bennett. Bennett comes in, gives him a shot. That Marchand going for a change. And Conor McGregor was in his way. A lot of chatter. Marchand, good shot.
All right, I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be okay now.
Yeah. Anyway, it was the end of the article. Anyway, I don't know why.
Yeah, it was just saying what he was wearing. That was all.
One thing that I'm getting next week that's going to help the show too. I'm getting an external hard drive for this fucking thing because I'm really tired of the lagging and all the shit that's been going on. So you can expect quality to improve once I get there. I'm going to run to Walmart and grab it when I get paid. Seeing as I have less money to spend on some shit for the time being, anyway.
Well, I mean, we haven't really had those like lagging problems that we were a while back. I think but the issue is I think sometimes though that certain websites kind of slow it.
Right, but here's the issue: is that I'm operating on a Chromebook, right?
You're operating on a what?
Chromebook.
Oh yeah.
So it can only do so much because it only stores so much memory. So like when I do our openings, in order for me to get the openings like for the next show, I have to delete the ones that we use like to save space. So it's just becoming more of a fucking headache than a help. So I'm just gonna fucking blow the money and get an external hard drive, which that should be we should have one more show like this, and then I'll have the external Wednesday next week. So the quality will improve when it comes to seamless shit. Do we still have 19 on Twitter? Because my shit.
When I had to refresh it, it went away, but I'm sure we do.
Usually it catches up. So
yeah.
All right. So as for what we got left here, let's see. We have. We have a bunch of shit to get into. We have some shit that I didn't even know happened until we were doing show prep for today. Because I've had so much going on. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know, Sully. I'm working on it. I used to be like, I'm not against Apple products. It's just that they've made no innovations since Steve Jobs died. Yeah. Like there's nothing about an Apple product that comes out that's like, oh wow. Like at this point, I'm married to my iPhone because I've had one since the iPhone fucking 4.
Yeah, same here. I mean, to me, they just seem easier to use.
Dude, that's what I don't get.
I don't want to change it.
People who like refuse to switch, and I'm like, dude, iPhone is more user friendly than a fucking Samsung.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of those other smartphones look innovative, but I'm like, sorry, I just can't do it.
Sully says, I've been rocking the same MacBook for 15 years. Yeah, I mean, with MacBooks, you fucking get your money. You get your money's worth.
This MacBook I'm on right now is like a 2018, I think. I had like a 2012 before it. I had a 2012 before this, but it burned out on me. Like, what I do is those websites like Gazelle and Back Market have good deals on like refurbished MacBooks, and like I don't need them for crazy stuff besides I literally bought it for this. So like they do the job it needs to.
I just checked Twitter. We're all good. We still have the same that we had. It's just the tracker updates late. I don't know why. Yeah. But Twitter's showing us this same as we had, so we're good. But yeah, so some of the stuff the stories I found, because I've been going through this shit and dealing with it in possibly a fucked up way. I'll tell you this though, I handled this way better than the Caitlyn shit. Way better.
I'll say that, but just don't let it go any further. That's the thing.
Right. But well, I'm not gonna be machete man to whoever she's dating. So
yeah,
we're good. As far as I know, he's not a felon. Okay, let's put it that way. But no. I mean, and this is what I was trying to stress to her too, because I feel like that she thinks I hate her. I don't. I had a general understanding of what we had. It was the closest thing to a relationship that it could be without being a relationship, and she wants to have kids and shit, bro. And I get it, like her biological clock is ticking. So, I get that we were just having fun, dude. That's cool. I just didn't like the way you went about it. That's it. That's the only fucking thing. Like I said, we've had these talks before. They're not new. Ooh, we're up to 20. Do you guys like me hating on? And I'm not even feel like I'm hating on women. I'm just telling the truth. You guys like this? Is this what I should do more?
It's turning into a red pill top G thing.
Real quick. I'm saying, bro, we haven't seen viewership like this in a minute, dude. People are locked in. I don't know, man.
I remember when I used to watch all these like wrestling YouTubers when I was like 14. This guy did this thing and he goes, look, people only care about drama. They don't care about me talking about wrestling. So what he did was he showed his views of him talking about wrestling, and then he made like a fake video that said like, fuck these guys. And then it was like his friends, but he just did it as like a spoof. And then that one had way more views than like the typical wrestling video.
People like negativity.
Yeah, people thrive on drama.
It's fucked up because I was telling my boss at work today, because I killed it. First of all, stupid me started this conversation with her mid-shift, right? So I'm like halfway through my shift, and then I'm going through this shit. So I messaged my boss, and I'm like, yo, just so you know, when I'm under stress in real life, you get 120% Joshua instead of 100. So for about the next 2 weeks, You're about to see some shit you've never seen before." And she's like,
You're about
"Oh,
to
thank
see.
you."
It's like that Miami Heat LeBron meme.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, exactly. But the one story I found on complete accident that if you want to get into, somehow, some way, this giant lake that's been gone for 130 years has reappeared.
And it reappeared. How?
Yeah, yeah. I'm going into the story cold, but let's see here. Giant. It's been gone for 130 years. So it doesn't. I mean, I don't know if they're going to try to flip this as like a global warming thing to where like the glaciers melted and brought the lake back or something like that. But I don't know. Let's see what we got here. A large dorm. And it happened in California, so they should be happy to have water. Let's see. This is from NBC News, so we shouldn't have an issue with the website. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, it brought havoc along with it. Let's see why. Let's see what happened. Okay, here we go. The long dormant lake has reappeared in California, bringing havoc along with it. Months of atmospheric river storms have pummeled the area, which is home to crucial farmland. A historic snowpack in the mountains above the basin will make things worse. And here's a photo of I mean, that's not much of a lake. Whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
People have worked for a century to make California's Tulare Basin into a food grower's paradise. That pastoral landscape now looks more like the Pacific Ocean in many areas. Months of atmospheric river storms have pummeled the area and saturated the basin soil, which sits about halfway between San Francisco and Los Angeles, not far from Fresno. The rains have led to floods that damaged towns and deluged farms and have broken to refill what was once a sprawling lake. The foods have pitted neighboring property owners against one another. Oh, see, now this is some shit that you make a movie about or a show. Like,
Yeah.
Because now their dynamic has changed so much, and it's like you're out for survival and shit. There's no zombies or anything. It's just like they're not used to the situation. The floods have pitted neighboring property owners against one another and raised tensions about how to manage the flows, which have damaged hundreds of structures.
Listen, we talked about how we made one foot series, margin of victory is going to be so slight in this one. So if we come down to a decision, let's get to that big decision in the first period. It's Alexis highlights, and it is the goaltender appearance challenged by the Oilers. Sam Bennett into the goal here. Hank, you're the goalie. We'll start with you, even though we don't know where you're going. You know I'm going with this. I don't like this goal. Listen, I think it's a big difference if the defense pushes a play towards the goaltender and you fall into it.
I don't know what's up tonight, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could just for the rest of the night until I get this. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else I could do. Like, if
we could just read the headlines like off the computer for now, like manually, basically.
All right. Well, what if
I
I
mean,
don't?
usually we haven't had any like problems in a while, so I don't know what's up.
It's the fucking storage, dude. It's the fucking storage.
Okay, well, shit happens sometimes. It's not a.
I mean, and it's fucked up. We're having a dope ass show too, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, we can get. Well, I want to finish that fucking article. I want to see what happened. So what I'll do, this is what I'll do. I'll read the article without showing. What the fuck? That was my fault. Wait, are we still here? All right, so this is what I'll do. I'll read the article without the thing on the screen, I guess, and we can talk as we go. I don't know until this shit's resolved. But okay, let me pull it back up here. We'll do the same article. I can see if there was like videos playing on the fucking video of the shit. There ain't nothing going on. But all right, let's see. The floods have pitted. Blah, 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 blah. They have a video of the heavy rain. Okay, so experts say a months-long slow-burning crisis will play out next. A historic snowpack. Oh Jesus! A historic snowpack to put downstream communities through months of torment. Bruh, there's no way. Okay, hold on. Months of torment. Months of torment. The flooding, which follows several years of extreme drought, showcases the weather whiplash typical of California, which facilitates between too wet and too dry. The influence of climate change can make the state's extreme more intense. This shit is just not plain. In the nearby town of Allensworth last month, dispute over the culvert caused anxiety.
So it seems to be dominant on home lines throughout the playoffs, as the guys mentioned.
Okay. Residents worked into the night to plug a culvert, which is a drain under Highway 43 with plywood and sandbags in a desperate effort to keep floodwater out of town. But later that night, workers within the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad unblocked the pipe, which left some Allensworth residents fuming as work moved closer. The residents had been BNSF materials without permission, said Leon Kent, a railroad spokesperson, damming the culvert. Usually, yeah, you know what? That's the first time, maybe not the first time, but the first time in a long time that I've heard the word damming in like not like, you know what I mean? Like that's pretty damning.
Yeah, not like damning evidence.
Yeah. So they dammed the culvert, threatened highway. The only access point to Allensworth at the time, and the railroad traffic ran parallel to it. Stress levels could remain high for months. Get yourself some Xanax. Should be good. The problem this year is it's just begun. We may have water running at or near our flood level in all of our streams through August or September, Hurley said. This impending monster, 50 foot plus deep snowpack that we haven't seen in 75 years is sitting up there, and we just don't know how fast it's going to turn into water and come out of the mountains. The Tulare Basin is at the southern end of California's San Joaquin Valley, and in essence, it's a massive bowl. Before irrigators dug canals that rerouted water for farming in the late 1800s, the lower lake filled the bowl's lower reaches. Water across the landscape, and the lake was the largest body of fresh water west of the Mississippi. Jeez, I wish you guys could see this picture. Several rivers, Kings Tool, Kern, and Kauai, historically dead ended at the lake. But we like, how did it just happen from rain? They just got, well, obviously, yeah. But they just got mad rain that they're not used to, I guess. Is the main story here. But, all right. But I wish I had a plan B for tonight because none of these fucking websites are working. Oh, well, we need the fucking website for the serial killer theme one. Yo, try streaming on your end.
Okay.
Because like you know, do it from yours. So just search up the serial killer restaurant and then share your screen and see if it's any different. I'm gonna refill on some water.
Yeah, let's see here. All right.
Rick and Morty. New episode Sundays at 11 p.m. on Adult Swim.
Say what you want about America, but you get it.
This is a cool story right here.
All right.
Plan centered on Lower Manhattan.
They moved the factory underground.
Share screen. Wow. It's not. All right. God damn it. Share screen. All right. Is it showing up?
No.
Oh wait, there it was. Just hold on, I'll bring it back.
It lags. It lags.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can just read it on my screen without showing it. All right. So in Ohio Museum of Horror set to open with serial killer themed restaurant. Nate Thompson makes short horror films and screens them in his hometown of Monroe, Michigan. We've been selling out the local theater, he said. When he's not making music, he operates the Michigan Museum of Horror, an old coffin maker undertaker business, which was, for a time in the 1860s, a funeral home. He also used to be in a heavy metal band. This guy's living the dream.
Yeah, he is,
Thompson
man.
has operated the Michigan Museum of Horror in his hometown for almost 3 years and wanted to expand in Ohio when he saw the 2-story brick building, at 227 Harding Way, East in Galion, was on the market. The 19th century building has a huge outdoor patio spot that's perfect for dining and live music, he said. Recently, he and his fiancée, Rachel, along with their children, Maverick, Holden, Willow, and Novelin, those are some names, traveled to Galion to talk about the museum, restaurant, and bar they will soon open. He is getting the keys to the building July 1st and plans to open later that month. I would really like to open in time for the big festival, Incarceration, at the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield in July, he said. It has the right vibe, Thompson said, standing outside the building. It does feel like home. It's the right spot. Now, here's the part we're trying to get to. The museum will feature
girls are gonna fly on the
what?
white girls are gonna be a staple up in that bitch. Sully said white girls are gonna love that restaurant.
So it says the museum will feature a standalone restaurant called The Last Meal, named because the menu features the last meals requested by serial killers, including John Wayne Gacy, who wanted KFC fried chicken and a pound of strawberries before he was put to death by lethal injection. And I mean,
what would your meal be?
What?
So, like, say that you were on death row for whatever reason. What was your last meal?
I don't know, probably like Five Guys or something.
But never go wrong with a good burger. I would say, like, I would make a real effort, bro. Like, you're gonna go out of your way for this shit. Like, I want something specific. Like, I want a dish from you, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't think they would do that for me. They're like, fuck you, you're dying tomorrow. But I mean, if they like, I wonder if they give you a list or if it's just like open to whatever you want.
I think it's anything because you're getting fucking killed the next day. So
right.
I mean, anything that's like at a restaurant within the area or something.
Yeah. So I guess if we're talking big chain, because they've only had it once when I was in Alabama because they're not everywhere. Give me a fucking Whataburger, number 3. Give me that shit. Because it was the first place that I ever went. Me and Sheena are sitting in the drive-thru, right? And I'm like, this shit is taking forever. And she goes, Josh, to make it fresh as you order it. I'm like, get the fuck out. Yeah. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. And then this dumb bitch, speaking of bad news coming at bad times, this dumb bitch, we get back. So we're in such a bad situation that we're living in a fucking extended stay hotel, right? So GTA 5 just came out. So I'm eating my burger. I cut on the game. She goes, "Yo, can you turn the game off?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "My mom just died. I watched her die." I'm like, "What the fuck are you telling me this shit now for? Like, what is up with people and telling people all that shit at the worst time?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was a fucked up situation. Sully's last meal would be a case of White Castle burgers with crinkle fries, a dozen Krispy Kremes, and a case of Pepsi. Could you kill the whole case of Pepsi in that day, bro?
I think I could if I hadn't like eaten or drank like the rest of the day. Like before that, I think I could.
Yeah. That's. I mean, that would be some dedication, souls. That'd be some dedication. Oh, by the way, I get my dog next week, next Wednesday, so he'll be making an appearance. His name is
Dusty the bionic dog.
Oh, he's really named after Dusty Rhodes. Sully said, yeah, he could absolutely kill that fucking Pepsi. But he's named after Dusty Rhodes, and that's another thing that's fucked up about it. It's like that was supposed to be our dog, and now it's all fucking weird and fucked up and shit. But it's okay because Ash likes the dog, so we're good. But yeah, I'm gonna have a new furry friend. I figured a dog may be better this time around.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I walk a lot, so it gives me a little companion.
Yeah, you walk a lot and you work from home, so you'll be there for it.
Right. I should have had him this week, but I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the show or not. But the dude offered at first. He was like, he's like, we can potty train him before we give him to you. And I'm like, nah, I can do it. But the more I think about it, they're on the first floor around the corner. I'm on the third floor up here. So it'd be a chore to be like running up and down. I'm going to have to do that anyway from time to time. But like potty training's a little different, you know?
Yeah.
So they can handle that. And he'll be mine Wednesday. He'll be hanging out with us. So I'm trying to book an all-star show for our 50th. Like I want like Burndell to chime in. I want Slim on. I want Monty on. Like I want Feast on. I want Quincy on. You know, I want to pack this shit. And
yeah, we gotta have 8 people doing a FBI guessing.
There we go.
We gotta have like 8 people doing an FBI guessing game.
We haven't done that in a while. Yeah, let's save that because the list has got to grown a lot from the last time to this time. My mission when I get off of here is going to be I'm throwing a fucking perfect game on MLB 25.
How many innings are you through?
I haven't started yet. I'm just calling my shot. I'm throwing a fucking perfect game tonight.
I think as a kid, when I was like 10, I had like a no-hitter through 7 once, and I gave up a hit, and I was just fucking devastated.
It's fucked up because on last year's before Sean had just got back with Cassie and was mad awkward, and so I stopped going over the house. But we would play, and this motherfucker, because me and him would switch inning to inning. So like I'd hit and pitch for an inning, then it would be his turn. You know what I mean? So we'd go back and forth. And this motherfucker, I got him the trophy. Well, we did it together, but I felt robbed because I got him the trophy on his of throwing a no-hitter with under 100 pitches, and I never got it on my own, but I got it on his. I have this new vape that comes apart like a magnet. Check this shit out, bro.
What flavor is it?
This shit is so fire, dude. It's dragon fruit strawberry.
Sounds refreshing.
Oh, wait. Dragon fruit straw banana.
Okay.
Fucking banging. Shit is fire. Sully Mack chimes in about 50th show. Sounds dope. Quincy's got to be on here. I don't give a fuck where he's at. Quincy, I'm going to say this because Quincy doesn't give a shit what I say about him on here. He told me straight up, if I could find a chick who sucks his dick next time he's here, he's going to give me $100 finder's fee. I said, buddy, you have no idea how easy that is for me. That's free money. Thank you. So we can make that happen. His time here will be August 20. I think it's August 26th through September 6th. So we're gonna do a show with him like we were supposed to before that snowstorm. Remember, he was supposed to come in like December.
Yeah, he was supposed to come. Yeah, I remember that.
Like the whole U.S. got fucking
I remember that.
fucked up. Yeah. So I was like, dude, don't risk your life, bro. Like, just we'll get to it. But yeah, so he will be on eventually. But let's see. I'm shook to pull up a fucking article. I don't want it to do what it's been doing. Oh, fuck. See what else we got going on here. Killer Meal, we went over that. Let's I already vented. I mean, I can keep venting if you want.
We got the California teacher detained by ICE during.
We do. Yes, we do. Indeed, we do. You don't know what? Hold on. I'm gonna try some opening from today and see if it frees up enough space that we can actually show a fucking article. Fucking change. Because this shit's got to go. I'll be getting a fucking external hard drive because this thing, it does everything I ask it to do. I don't need much more. I just need more space. That's it. It's not like a woman. I just need space.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's try it now. let's try it now. Let's see what happens. All right. California teacher ICE. And what's gonna be cool with that is what the external hard drive will be able to. You know how sometimes in the watch-alongs it lags? It's because of the storage. So once because I was under the impression because Feast was over one night, and I was under the impression that external hard drives were still as expensive as they were back in the day. And he was like, "Yo, I got this 4 terabyte one for like $60." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And he's like, "No, I'm serious, bro." So, and I went online, and sure as shit, these things are affordable now. So I was basically
it's kind of like how VHS players or VCRs and DVD players were like $600 back in the day, and now you can't give them away for free.
Right. Exactly. All right. All right. Let's try this. All right, we're gonna give it a go.
Be right back.
Cross your fingers. Hope to die. Let's see here. All right. Hopefully, by the time you come back, I'm still here. Not fucking frozen. Frozone.
I was just throwing something away.
All right. So far, so good. Outrage after California it's a fourth grader. I thought it was a teacher.
Oh,
dude, they're doing this shit to children. Jesus. Okay. Outrage after California fourth grader is detained by ICE during immigration hearing. Is this the same one? I thought it was about the teacher. I'm gonna go back. Hey, the article's working. See, I deleted those 2 videos. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one, bro. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was a teacher. Okay. All right. I guess not. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into it. Okay. Let's see what happened here. I mean, listen. I understand this sounds cruel, right? But like, you're not supposed to be here. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not the child's fault. It's not.
Yeah.
It's the parent. I mean, like it sucks and it's a terrible experience that will follow them for life.
Yeah.
But let's see here. Parents and teachers in Southern California are urgently asking for help to find a 4th grader who is being held captive by immigration authorities in Texas. Torrance Elementary School student Martir Garcia Lara attended an immigration court appointment with his father in Houston on May 29th, when suddenly they were detained and separated from each other, according to a message from the school's Parent-Teacher Association. The boy and his father are reportedly in immigration custody. He's alone, and he's not able to return. PTA President Jasmine King told KTLA, "We have not received any information on why they were detained." She said, "All we know is that Martyr is just a fourth grader who's by himself, without his dad, without a parent, and just in a place that he probably doesn't know. So he can only imagine. We can only imagine what he might be doing." So I'm going to say this: I don't think the kid should be locked up on his own. I think
hell no, nah. He's a kid.
Right. I mean, come on, dude. At least if you're gonna put him in like detainment, have his parents with him or something.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. We have not received any information on why they were detained. All we know is that Martyr. Okay. The spokesperson for the Torrance Unified School District told the Independent that officials are unable to confirm details of the family's case and are actively working with the family and authorities to understand the facts of the situation. We remain committed to the safety and well-being of all of our students and continue to follow proper protocols as more information becomes available, the statement added. The Independent has requested comment ICE. Federal authorities have taken roughly 500 children into government custody since Donald Trump took office. Those children were either in homes considered to be unsafe or because the government arrested their family members and placed them in removal proceedings. Now, what I'm about to say is about to come off as racist, but it's not. I don't mean it that way. But it's a classic Hispanic culture to where like there's like 18 people living in a house, and that's not good for a kid's development. It is unsafe.
Yeah,
it is, yo. The boy's alleged arrest. I think it's fucked up that they put him in cuffs. I'd love to see an episode of Cops about that one. The boy's alleged arrest follows a wave of immigration enforcement actions inside courthouses across the country in recent weeks, with masked officers from as many as 20 different law enforcement agencies patrolling entrances, lobbies, and hallways to arrest immigrants moments after their scheduled hearings and appointments. Courthouse operations and arrests at other immigration offices have been reported in more than a dozen cities, which advocacy groups and immigration attorneys have labeled a dragnet operation sweeping up immigrants who are following the law. Here's the thing: if you're an immigrant, if you're an immigrant, you could be following the law. But I hate when people are like, "This illegal immigrant didn't do anything wrong." Yeah, they did. They're here when they shouldn't be.
And listen, this isn't a Trump thing. There's speeches out there from Obama talking about deporting people.
Right. And
every president. I know it's on the surface, it's fucked up and it's traumatizing, and I can't even imagine it. But every president, Democrat or Republican, has deported illegal immigrants.
Yeah, with impunity. Like Obama had so many, they were calling that motherfucker deporter in chief. But the media just didn't cover it.
It's funny because they the whole like ICE detainment center, the kids in cages, they put it in a different context for each president. They make it sound all like normal and classy for Obama, but then for Trump, it's a evil concentration camp. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're right. That's what they're labeling it as, a fucking concentration camp. In New York City, protests erupted after ICE arrested a high school student seeking asylum during his court appearance after federal agents swarmed a Manhattan immigration office, where officers also arrested a congressional staffer. And that's the thing too, because there's been a lot of this shit going around too, with like the senators and people in power trying to help. Like, this is what you do, and blah, blah, blah. No, man, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. If you're aiding I wouldn't really say abetting, but if you're aiding this process, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. You deserve to be, because I don't think I've ever lived in a less patriotic time than what we live in right now.
Yeah.
Dead ass, bro. I really fucking believe that. It's fucked up. All right. After taking office, the president issued an executive order that greenlights fast-track deportations proceedings from immigrants who cannot prove that they have continuously lived in the United States for more than 2 years. The expedited removal process historically used at the U.S.-Mexico border is now being expanded across the country. The American Civil Liberties Union sued to block the measure, arguing people seeking asylum would get less due process contesting their deportation than they would contesting a traffic ticket. I don't think that really sounds right, but okay. The American Immigration Lawyers Association says courthouse arrests are a flagrant betrayal of basic fairness and due process for people who are simply following the rules. Immigration courts are being weaponized. Judges are coordinating with ICE to dismiss cases and immediately funnel individuals into the fast-track deportation pipeline known as expedited removal, the group said in a statement. These are not fugitives. They're individuals, many of them seeking protection from torture in other countries complying with the law. Now, that's the thing. If you're actually fleeing some shit where like people are getting like whipped in the streets for fucking like feeding a dog or some shit, yeah, dude, I think you should be out of there. But like, then don't come here and then fly your country's flag that's like so awful you had to flee
That's
from.
what, I try to tell like my parents who like they still claim they're liberal, but I don't really believe them. And they say like I'm like, look, all these picketing protests are going on now, and you're waving the flag of a place you don't want to go.
Right. So
and, it's funny. I remember, probably gonna sound racist on the surface level. I remember years ago. Because where I live has a pretty predominant Hispanic population, and like how people have like the American flag on the little thing in their driveway, right?
Yeah,
and
right.
But like you'll see Mexican flags, and it's like, why come here? If I ever moved to Europe, I wouldn't fucking. It's not that I'm not ashamed of where I'm from, but like if I moved to Europe, I wouldn't put an American flag in my window. Because it's just like not necessary. Because like I left that country or that place for a reason, and it's not that I don't not like it, but like I'm here at a different place for a reason.
Right, and I've heard like Europeans and shit when they come over here, they're like amazed at like there's American flags everywhere. Like if you're out in front of a business, like a grocery store, they have an American flag. Like I guess it's not like that over there. Like they're not.
It doesn't look. I mean, just from what I've seen, on videos and stuff, it doesn't really. It kind of seems like that's more of like a North American thing, like Canada, USA, Mexico. Because when you see like streets in Canada and stuff, there's always flags and stuff. So I think that's more of a North American thing.
I've noticed something with all the walking I do. I mean, I've noticed this years ago, but I've noticed something. You can tell when you're in a conservative area because there's American flags outside. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you see like a whole row of down the street, the like American flags, you're good. You're good.
You know what's hilarious? To turn into my mom's neighborhood. You know how like in the front of neighborhoods they'll be like, yard sale Saturday and Sunday at this house, 945 West 23rd Street, and it'll be like a block away. So what's funny is this sign was like tilted to face the main road. So coming this way, I could see the back of the sign, and they were using an old Harris Walls sign for the yard sale sign. Just turned it.
That's pretty funny. All right, let's finish this shit up here. The Independent has requested comment. ICE, federal authorities. Why always at the end of the article, bro? Okay. I'm looking for the fucking. Whatever. I mean, we kind of covered all of it. Fucking. I'm not gonna keep falling around this thing. All right. Let's see. We got into the father-daughter thing.
I think all we have is the sex worker one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That and that tweet you sent me this morning about the toxic fungus.
Oh yeah, you got to get into that. Yeah, because that's a big story that like no one is covering. Like, let's see. So, like they were trying to drop some like real life Last of Us shit on us, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if like I know everyone is kind of consigned to the COVID thing starting in the lab, but like with them getting caught with this, it makes me think that maybe like some Chinese spies or some shit came over here and just dropped some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's see. Let's see. 2 Chinese nationals are charged with moving toxic fungus into the United States. This should be a much bigger story than it is. I mean, I shouldn't have caught this. Like I said, I mean, this should be front page news. Fucking mailing each other anthrax and shit. It was all over the fucking news.
Yeah.
Come on, pop up. There we go. All right. Oh, and of course, we start off with a Chinese flag. 2 Chinese nationals charged with smuggling toxic fungus into the United States. The Chinese couple has been charged with smuggling a toxic fungus into the U.S. Authorities claim the fungus can be used as a potential agro-terrorism weapon. So if you remember that one show we did, and now it popped off the screen. But if you remember that one show we did about all like the citrus trees dying in fucking Florida, it could be something similar to this to this thing here. So let's see if it'll allow me. Try this again.
You decide the outcome. No, we decide the outcome.
What, you don't get the article? Or what?
Imagine waking up tomorrow.
The all-new 2025 Chevrolet. Get it. There are a certain kind of people never strain in their pursuit of what matters. And what matters? Honesty, facts, integrity, accuracy, truth. Good night and good luck. Live Saturday at 7 on CNN and streaming live on Max.
Let's play.
The upcoming game of code sabotage is back.
Dun, dun, dun.
Chefs will have to bet bigger.
1,000 better brand. Oh!
Face crazier.
These are the only key sources I'll be able to use your knife. There's no salt, no herb. What are we going to do without spices?
And be more ruthless than ever before. I'll sabotage my own mother if I can.
That's how we cut through.
All new Cutthroat Kitchen Knives out Tuesday night at 9. See it first on Food Network Stream next day on Wednesday.
The raceback set face up play by the Florida Panthers. Watch the play and then watch what Sam Bennett does after the play happens. Help face off, win it, help, pop out, and this is a tremendous stop off the right shoulder.
I really apologize for the issues today, everybody. I don't know the verdict is in that we have to fucking. I'm gonna have to grab a fucking external hard drive. It's the only option. And then that'll be able to take us further too, because then I can like actually get an opening done, and I can start doing video editing on my own instead of having to go through a piece. Because for you can tell from the videos that I show you that I'm learning the ropes myself. So
Yeah.
I'm learning from the best. That dude, like, I really love that dude because he has a hustler's mentality. So like, sometimes he gets worried about his stats at work, right?
Yeah.
Like his ideas are fucking like they're off the wall, but they make sense, dude. He was like, "Yo, if I ever lose this job," he's like, "half the reason that I started cutting hair is I would go downtown and set up a chair and charge $10 a haircut and just be like, yo, I'll give you an edge up right here for $10." And I'm like, yo, that's genius. I would never fucking think of that in my life. Ever.
He could probably charge more than that, probably 20.
Yo, Just a dude walking down the street, be like, yo, you look like you can use a little nacho, bro. Yeah, you're right. Dude, free money. If you're set up in the right area, free money.
Yeah.
That's just how his mind works because that's where he's from, bro. Like all he knows is street shit.
Yeah.
So like me and him talk all the time. I go, dude, I remember days when we would have to, me and my boy, and this is back in the day when $5 would get you somewhere. But me and my boy Mitch, we would be like, yo, we got to come up with $5. So we would each get one of those, like, the big ass burger, the frozen big ass burger.
Yeah.
So, yo, as long as we came up with $5, we could each get one of those, grab what we need for some bags of chips, and that was it, bro. Nowadays, you can't even
$5 gets you a fucking bottle of water now.
for real, dude. Like it's like, but the poison shit is fucking $2.
Yeah.
The shit that fucking you drink too much of it is gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Dude, kind of, we're in a fucked up society is what we're gonna do. Really.
Well, I mean, when our processed food gets exported like overseas, it gets Surgeon General's warnings.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, there's a reason why, like, the shit that we send over there isn't the exact product that we make here.
Yeah.
If there's shit missing, like if you could look at the bag of like anything, the back of a bag of fucking Jolly Ranchers. Ours, the US version is just fucking riddled with fucking all kinds of chemicals and this and that and this and that. And then you look at the Europe version, and it's like fucking 8 ingredients total.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me it's not on purpose? Yes, it is, yo. You're actively trying to kill people, and I don't know if it's like a population thing, like where they want to, depopulate because there's too many people and shit or whatever. Because at some point, and I wonder this about graveyards too. Like, how haven't we run out of room?
Yeah, right.
No, I'm serious. Like, have you ever thought about that? Like, how have we not run out of room?
Yeah.
I mean, burying people, realistically, we've been burying people for 2,025 years, and like BC before that.
Yeah.
So like,
it's not like they open up new cemeteries because there's just land sitting there.
Right. Like,
yeah, I don't really know.
It doesn't make sense. Well, one thing, there's a tweet I always see or a Facebook post or something, and it rings true, and it's actually starting to bother me now. I've never seen a Chinese funeral.
I don't think so either. No.
So that's fucking weird. Like, what do they do? Eat each other? Like, what are they?
I don't know.
Like, I'm thinking maybe like cremation or something. Maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. But whatever they do, it's not public because I don't ever see a group of Chinese congregating to fucking mourn something.
I don't either. No.
It's one of those fucking, I don't know. It's at this point, it's an unsolved mystery. What it is.
I mean, we could just finish that fungus story without going on the article.
All right.
Or I mean, you could just read it off without sharing the screen.
Yeah. Because I am interested. See, like, I want to click their fucking paywall. Let's try Al Jazeera. Let's try that. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, so this one actually goes into detail. All right. I was going to try to present it, but let's not. Okay. U.S. federal prosecutors have charged 2 Chinese nationals with smuggling a toxic fungus into the United States, which authorities think could be turned into a potential agro-terrorism weapon. The charges against Jian Yongqing, 33, and Lu Zhengyong, 34, 2 researchers from China, which is never a good sign because that means you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Were unsealed by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Michigan on Tuesday. The pair face additional charges of conspiracy, visa fraud, and providing false statements to investigators. Prosecutors allege that Liu smuggled the fungus called Fusarium graminearum into the U.S. so he could carry out research at a U.S. University of Michigan laboratory where his girlfriend Jian worked. Fusarium graminearum causes head blight, a disease in crops like wheat, barley, maize, and rice, and is responsible for billions of dollars of economic losses worldwide each year. The pathogen also poses a danger to humans and livestock. It can cause vomiting, liver damage, and reproductive effects. The investigation was carried out by U.S. Customs and Border Protection and the FBI, whose mandate includes investigating foreign and economic espionage as well as counterterrorism. Jian was earlier arrested by the FBI and is due to appear in federal court this week, where her ties to the Chinese government are also under scrutiny at a time of increased paranoia within the U.S. government about possible Chinese infiltration. Jian allegedly received funding from the Chinese government to carry out research on the same toxic fungus in China. According to the charges, the Associated Press news agency citing the FBI said that Liu was sent back to China from Detroit in July 2024 after airport customs authorities found the fungus in his backpack. He later admitted to bringing the material into the U.S. to carry out research at the University of Michigan, where he had previously worked alongside his girlfriend. During their investigation, the FBI found an article on Liu's phone titled Plant Pathogen Warfare Under Changing Climate Conditions. Messages on the couple's phones also indicated that Jian was aware of the smuggling scheme and later lied to investigators about her knowledge. It is unlikely that Liu will face extradition as the U.S. does not have an extradition treaty with China. FBI Director Kash Patel claimed on X that China was working around the clock to deploy operatives and researchers to infiltrate American institutions and target our food supply, which would have grave consequences. The Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C. did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The University of Michigan on Tuesday issued a brief statement condemning any actions that seek to cause harm, threaten national security, or undermine the university's critical mission. The case comes just a week after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio pledged to start aggressively revoking the visas of Chinese students to U.S. national security grounds. Targeted students include Chinese nationals with ties to the Chinese Communist Party, an institution that counts about 100 million members. While some Chinese may join for ideological reasons, membership in the CCP comes with perks and access to better jobs and educational opportunities. It is not uncommon from elite backgrounds like those studying in the U.S. to also be members of the CCP. And finally, China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has previously pledged to firmly safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of its students staying overseas following the crackdown. I don't like the idea of anybody from the CCP or China getting granted entrance into our country. What kind of good do you mean, really?
Yeah.
Like, at best, you're going to get your education here and spend it elsewhere. Right?
Yeah.
You're not going to stay here for your education. So either way, you're using us for your education, or you're over here to help China to fuck us up in some way.
Yeah.
And it's not like that we have a good relationship with China. There's no benefit of allowing this shit to happen.
Yeah.
It seems reckless from my perspective to me. Let's get into this sex workers thing. I'm really interested in how they can be culturally appropriate. Well, I'm going to try my best to share this article because I feel like it needs to be shared. Oh man, they picked a real winner if I can show off the sex work Oh, I tell you. Okay, here we go.
Sex work is cool.
Sex work is cool now. Dude, it's the in thing, trendy thing. Man. Okay, wait. All right, let's see. Maybe it was disrespectful to people who experience discrimination and sometimes violence and even job loss. And it was a week up. It all started on a rainy evening, which is Edgar Allan Poe.
Excuse me, Blues, the third period. A 47-second power play. We're just respecting the skill on Edmonton as to why Florida, a much more reserved penalty kill, relying on their goaltender and some blocks to do the job. Panthers take a 3-2 lead into the locker room after 40 minutes. They discovered in this report coming up with Liam Ace Pitts. And away.
As a director, confidence was always my strong suit, but psoriasis stripped it away until I got clearer skin.
Fucking entrances and fucking eliminations. I feel like a Royal Rumble match myself.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Most people have 100% clear skin.
It opens up like a novel. All right, so it was a rainy evening, and my colleague and I were on the train on our way to work. I've worked at various strip clubs over the past 7 years, and my friend for 5. It's a long enough time in the adult industry to know what's downtown. Precarious working conditions and unstable income and inescapable discrimination. Look, my colleague handed me their phone. There was something off with this. Their Instagram feed suggested a pop-up event organized by a group of
Financial professionals can improve their direct play when it matters most. Learn more at massmutual.com/NHL.
OMG, they must think we're so dumb that we'll just fly into that bug zapper and die. Lol, I died. And now this is working proud? Ew.
Yes,
Sounds like that.
I don't know. Apparently, this is my takeaway from tonight. People love to see me ranting about stuff. Maybe I should do it more. So, right, and this is a good thing though, because I'm going to give you a little bit of a deep dive into the inner workings. So, I don't know if you know this, but the reason that Curb Your Enthusiasm came before Seinfeld is because Larry David didn't want to act. So George Costanza is based off of
Larry David.
So it's going to be very like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be my observational things and like how I see things. Like I couldn't believe that Jordan couldn't understand. I feel like that she's choosing not to understand.
Yeah.
Right? Because everyone else I bring it up to is like, no, dude, I totally understand where you're coming from. She's the only one. So I don't think I'm wrong, and I don't think everyone else that I think is wrong, right? But that's a situation that I would throw in the show. I mean, maybe not, because I really want to have a strict rule of it happened in the building or something led to it in the building. So some people are going to be spared. Like Caitlin's going to be spared because she didn't enter my life until I grew. Jordan's going to get spared because it runs from 2019 to 21. You know, so it's not going to be a thing to where there's going to be 8 seasons or anything like that. It's going to be when the story is told, the story is told. There is no extension because it had an end. So there's no need to fucking be like, it's really good, man. You should keep doing more. Like, no.
Yeah.
because I don't want to be in that situation. So the pilot episode is going to be 15 minutes. We're going to so I'm going to open it. Like, remember how the old sitcoms would open? Like, you'd have a guy and, like, he'd be, like, walking down the street or something, or, like, walking past the camera, and then he'd, like, stop and, like, give it a look and some shit. You know what I mean? They'd have some, like, funky, like, music behind it. So that's the kind of intro that I'm going to use. So we're going to film that as, like, a trailer, and the pilot episode is going to be 15 minutes, as I said earlier. We're going to extend from there. These are all going to be true stories. I might throw you some bread for being like a historian.
Yeah, okay.
Because you remember, so I remember the big shit, but you remember these little things that I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm a building historian. I got a bunch of fancy books behind me.
And yo, you have the original clip of Taiwan Tasha.
I do. I think I have that clip of Maria on acid too.
That's a fucking trip. She knows better than trying to message me because I was in my really villain arc, and remember we were in that toxic group, and like that's why that I ended up leaving the group, because you could tell that the dudes in the group are like super virgins, dude.
Yeah.
I posted some disrespectful shit. I had text her and I posted text.
I remember it because everybody in the group was like, "Nah, this isn't real. You're lying." Like, because that's when you invited me to it. 'Cause you're like, "I'm about to invite you to this group I'm in. Watch what I'm about to do." And then you did it, and all the stupid guys in there were like, "Oh, that's not real. It's fake."
Yeah, because I'll even say what I said. I told her that I'm like, her name in my phone is Slut. I'm not even joking, dude. It is. It really fucking is, dude. And so I told her, like, yo, I was like, I'm gonna fucking treat you like I bought this pussy. I hope you know that. And like, I think I scared her. I think I went a little too far for her, because I think that she's used to like taking advantage of dudes that like older, like DJ Rabin. I also that video with Lily when she kept looping his fucking shit.
Yeah, when he kept, she was used to older weird dudes who are commenting on her picture saying, "You're stunning."
Right, and that's what she looks for, because she's a fucking bum. I mean, she's not a real bum, like she's in an apartment and shit like that, but like she's going nowhere in life. And like it's a
you said she's like your age and unemployed.
Yeah, I don't know how she pays her rent. Maybe she's a hooker too. I don't know.
Or maybe because I remember she had like a disabled kid. Maybe she gets some money from the government for that.
Ooh, yeah. I will say this. Shouts to her. She has some bomb ass pussy, dude. Really good. If she wasn't such a fucking nutcase, dude. But she's fucking nuts, dude. Like, I don't think I ever told the story on here, but I think I told Silly, and I think I told you. But one day we went shopping, like grocery shopping. She lives across the street from a grocery store. Okay?
Yeah.
So we walk up to her house. We had like a pizza and wing date shit. We watched a movie, and she had to do some shopping before. So I went shopping with her. She needed shit for the week. So I go with her, and we're taking the shit out of the bag. And like, this is when it clicked in my mind that I need to get the fuck out of this situation. Dude, she snapped about not getting bread. She's like, I fucking forgot the fucking bread. I'm like, holy fuck, dude, I'll go get the bread. I'll go get it. You live right next door to a fucking grocery store. I'll go get it. Relax. Holy fuck, dude, it's not.
I forget. I get home and I forget something like every time. I don't care. I'll just go back the next day.
The point of it was you live fucking 30 feet from a grocery store. It's not the end of the world, dude.
Yeah.
And then like that shit started happening. And I'm like, if she's reacting like this over a loaf of bread, and then remember, like she's gonna be in it. Actually, she was a big part of my building life. She's gonna be in it. That's another one I gotta cast. As far as casting goes, Savannah's like impossible. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with it. I think I'm gonna end up playing myself, but I don't
Yeah,
want
that's the
to.
only way.
So I was talking to the piece about it, and he's like, I understand where you're coming from because you don't want to be known as an actor. Like I want to like write shit and be in the shadows. You know what I mean? But I feel like I have to, because no one's gonna be able to like relive that story like I can. Like I can coach someone for like 4 hours straight, and like I'm always gonna have something where I'm like, no, I didn't do it that way. Like the only one who knows how I did it is me. So this might be like a one-off thing for me to act. But I'm meaning I'm gonna be in it. I need to cast Savannah and I need to cast Tasha. I got Quincy casted. I got a perfect casting for Quincy. What I'll do, I'll send you pictures when the show's over of who I got. He's a fucking dead ringer, and they have the same personality. He's a comedian. He's a great guy. I might see if he wants to come on the show. But yeah. But that's really what I've been doing. I've been trying because I feel like when you're doing a project like this, that you owe it to the project, to your own artistry, that you don't want people like you don't want established names.
No.
You want people who could break out with you, be like, yo, we all got our start together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But my idea for your episode, whenever you come in, we could shoot it whenever, and then just drop it whenever. But I want to have like a standalone episode where you come to town, and even though it didn't happen in the building, I don't give a fuck. Like
you can call this semi-biographical.
Because names are going to be changed. Like I'm not going to call Savannah. I'm not going to call. Remember, I was hanging around that chick for a minute. She would like come and stay for like a couple of days, and then like.
I think so. So.
She was a fucking burden, and she's gonna be hard to cast too because she's a fucking redhead. So
not the fucking Asian one, right?
No, but the Asian chick has to be in it. That was a fucking life moment right there.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell that story on here? If not, I'll say it.
I think you might have.
Yeah.
I think because that was the only time I ever heard it.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought I told you when that shit happened. There's some shit from back then that I kept in because I felt embarrassed.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I mean when I say I'm going to be very honest. Like, there's going to be parts of me. So that's why no one can get mad at me because I'm going to be very honest. And I'm being very honest about myself.
Yeah.
So when I include something bad you did to me, don't worry. Down the pipeline, you're going to see worse that I did.
Yeah.
You know? So fuck anybody who's mad at it. We start shooting next month, I hope. Ash is going to be Lily. My man Jay is going to be Quincy. And I just need to find the Savannah. I need to find the Tasha. For Burndell, I think I have the perfect role for him. I think I want him to be like not like an ordained, like I don't want him to be like a preacher where he's wearing like shit, but I want him to like always come by and try to like preach me God.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, you don't need to live like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, so I want stuff like that involved, but it's gonna be a serious Seinfeld. But it's gonna
who's gonna be Taiwan?
I'm gonna see if he wants to do it himself. He's coming to town at the end of the month. He's gonna come stay. I'm gonna make that motherfucker. I don't care if I have to get a third camera. I'm gonna make that motherfucker hop on the show. Because last time he popped a couple Xanax, passed out.
Yeah.
Well, he said, "What up, OG?" or some shit. So. But man, looks like you guys had some fun tonight. I did too. I don't know. Maybe I'll rant and rave some more. I don't know. But
that's what this stuff's for.
Hey, you always say, dude. No,
So
dude, I'm
fun
just
to
curious because you always say that like one show, like it takes one thing.
Yeah.
And if people really enjoyed me like speaking truth and shit tonight, then whatever, dude. That'll be the route that we'll take going forward.
It's
I mean,
because you can do 2 episodes and blow up, or you can do 500 and nothing pops up. But it's like it's just all about the consistency, and you're just gonna eventually
me and
you'll
you have
just
said
have
before.
one thing that catches on.
Me and you have said before. The goal, like obviously, the end goal is to have this blow up. But if it doesn't, I don't give a shit because I enjoy doing it. It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
So, like, I appreciate everyone who spends part of their night with us. Every show we do.
Yeah.
What are you looking at for this weekend? We doing Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday should be fine. Because
Okay.
Saturday we got the Worlds Collide show like during the afternoon.
Oh, I can't miss that.
So I think Sunday
If
afternoon.
you're a wrestling fan, watch that fucking show.
I think Sunday afternoon shouldn't be a problem.
Does that lead right into Money in the Bank?
I think there might be like a 2-hour gap.
Okay,
I think the Lucha shit is from like 11 to 1 or 2 Pacific time, and then Money in the Bank starts at like 4 p.m. Pacific time.
I hate that we're going so deep in the show because that's one thing I want to get into. It's like I love wrestling, but I think it's overkill. Like I don't need a full fucking day of wrestling nonstop.
Yeah, you could have had the Lucha show on Saturday and Money in the Bank on Sunday, but now WWE wants you could have had the Lucha show on Tuesday instead of NXT 1 week or something. Like it's a bit much, but because I have to do some work from home this weekend, and it's like like I could just throw something on while I'm working, but then it's like, well, this wrestling's on all fucking day.
I've never said this out loud. Obviously, Caitlin was the reason that I left the bank, but I'll never forget. I was so pissed that it was the Money in the Bank in London, and it was the only time that Alicia straight up refused me to take the time off. She goes, "I'm sorry, I can't." So many people have called in because they did it July 4th weekend. So many people put in for PTO for like vacation, seeing family, blah, 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 shit like that. And she was like, "Josh, I'm sorry, dude. I can't." And I was so bitter because I had to sit there and watch the show on mute. And I feel like it was a big show. Like Cena came out, like weren't expecting that. Like it was overall a good show. And I felt like I was being tortured watching on mute. And then later I had to rewatch it, and it didn't hit the same. And it just really made me mad. And like one of the reasons that I don't go back to the bank is because where I'm at, I'm guaranteed weekends off.
Yeah, that's the same. Like I would want to do other things, but it's going to take quite a bit to pull me away from like my job now because I have weekends off and then I have to do this like one weekend a month shit, but it's from home for like 2 hours in the morning and that's it.
All right, gang. Next week, all of our technical difficulties will be resolved. We'll see you on Saturday at some point. I mean, what time are you looking for Saturday?
You mean Sunday?
Sunday.
I mean, I'm good with like 4 Eastern. I'll let you know if that changes.
Okay. All right. Well, expect Sunday evening. I've had a great time with you guys tonight. Maybe we found something.
Maybe we found a niche.
Yeah, but all right, guys. Always keep it real. That's one of my new things. All right, I keep it a buck, no taxes. You should do the same.
And stay out of a cell because you can only have a good meal in a cell if it's the day before you die.
Yeah, all the other times you're eating fucking food.
You'll be eating slop.
Yeah, it's no fun. I refuse to eat when I was locked up. My fucking cellmate was like, "Yo, you need to eat." I'm like, "No." They tried to give us tacos. The shit looked like it was fucking Alpo. I'm like, "I'm good, dude." So he ended up giving me like ramen. He taught me how to make jailhouse ramen, which jailhouse ramen fucking slaps, dude. I'd make it sometimes just to make it. But I'll end on this. Jailhouse ramen is obviously in jail, you don't have a microwave, right?
Yeah.
So what they do is they let the water run for like a minute, and they have a Tupperware bowl, and you put the noodles in it, and you let them get soft, and then you add the mixture in. And it could have been because I haven't eaten in 3 days when I ate it, but that was one of the best meals I've ever fucking had. It was fucking incredible. Shout outs to my cellmate. I hope you're doing well, buddy. But yeah, let's avoid a kinship with cellmates.
Yeah.
Avoid that. So stay out of a cell, everybody. We'll see you on Sunday with whatever's happening in the world and wherever I'm at in this situation. I'll update you. But all right, guys, be real. Don't stay in a cell. Don't get in a cell. I'm gonna go throw a fucking perfect game on MLB right now.
Do that shit.
I think, and the funny thing is, I think I got Cole starting. The last start, he struck out like fucking 16 dudes. So let's fucking go. But all right, gang. Have a good night. Behave yourselves.
And we'll see you. We'll see you this weekend.
We'll see you. If you do drugs, do them responsibly. Google it first. Have a good night, everybody.